Alright, hello. We're back. My name is Andrew, and with me is John. We're going to continue with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hopefully, it will not be nearly as much of a struggle as it was last time. I think also, we discovered this after the stream closed, I'm pretty sure. Apparently, the average completion time of this game is 51 hours. But it also turns out that this is actually a collection of 2 games. So each one is about 25 hours. So I talked to John. Probably what we'll do is we'll beat one of them, take a break, play some other games, and then come back and then finish a second one. So it's not like we're gonna be playing this for like the rest of this year.
Like the rest of time.
Yeah, just never ends. So with that being said, let's get back into the game. I think we were about to confront the woman who everyone was trying to deny was there.
Yes. So would we describe this game as like a dialogue simulator with like mild legal mechanics?
Yeah, it's like so the Phoenix Wright games in general are like one level away from being a visual novel. It's like you basically play through a visual novel and then you have to use the information that you collected to contradict witness testimony. And Jake is in chat saying that they are visual novels. Yeah, I mean pretty much they are, but like they have like some gameplay and like they have like a failure point, and you're absolutely right. I don't want to admit that I like visual novels because I don't like visual novels.
But
I like this.
Where's my complex dating set?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's a visual novel, it needs a complex dating set. Yeah. Just saying.
The only reason that I don't consider it a visual novel is like there's like a failure. Like you can just fail to solve the puzzle. But now we're just mincing words, so I don't have to admit I was wrong about a statement I said in the past. All right, let's get back into the game. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. Kazuma. What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believe me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now.
Or, you know, basically just ran my defense while not running my defense.
Exactly. Look, I have faith in you.
I love you.
The lawyer, and as a friend. You know, like, I don't know if we're calling ourselves anything, but let's go with friend. Going through you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. This isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose.
What?
Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
I thought that was the whole point of us doing our own defense, is that way he doesn't have to give up on his dreams.
But I think it's like he's like gonna make an appeal or something. Like he's not gonna give up on us if we get declared guilty. I don't know.
No.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. 22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2.
Dun dun.
Oh, speaking of Dun Dun, my dad watched basically the entire collection of 2 Law & Order shows during the pandemic. It was
oh god.
It was quite a marathon.
There's so many episodes.
There's so many. Okay.
I love your dad.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds! And thanks to a certain young Stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. I think I've lost the voice, but that's okay. It'll get back.
Yeah. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's likely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed.
They'll probably get a casus belli from this event.
Oh, God. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders?
Oh, shit, I got a follower. Thank you, fragilities.
Shouldn't it be flounders, not founders?
That's what I was thinking. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on, and no one bad has ever expressed that sentiment before. Oh my god, that reminds me. I saw this game on Steam. We're not going to play it on stream, but it's called Heal Hitler. You're trying to be Hitler's psychologist to make him not a shitty person. I just wanted to share that with the world that I discovered that.
Oh my god.
This really just blew my mind. That exists.
What do you mean?
A secret trial. Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions. A bungled investigation. Missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is?
Yes.
Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy!
Rookie boy!
You and our friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Until like 40 years from now.
Yeah.
Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I just don't want to go to jail. That's all. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. Standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Is this just like a big circle jerk to Japan and their feelings of their own court system?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I guess that is kind of like the underlying message of every Law and Order episode. But
yeah. Well said, Ryanosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yeah! Your Excellency! Oh, that is a hat.
Yep, that is a hat.
Is she secretly a man?
I think that's been done.
Wow! What a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land!
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea.
This is mildly racist.
Is that true? No idea. No one's ever actually been there. It's a myth.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course.
Are you going to do her?
Yeah, but it's still him. It's still the waiter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Carnival.
Yes, we know all about you already. The girl!
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Inosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Yeah, Inosuke's gay.
Guilty. Yeah.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. What? Oh, that's clever. Huh? I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMay University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
Do hummingbirds sing?
I have no idea.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yeah, I agree.
How can you tell?
I don't know, I study English, I don't know. I mean, the guy was planning to go to England, right? Haha, you'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, right? It's okay. Well, thanks, beautiful lady, for taking the stand. Now, if it may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says, yes.
That was an awful lot of words.
This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? Baka gaijin. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
But a murder just happened.
Gotta get that grind set, John. It doesn't matter. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? I assume our new follower is solely because of StarCraft. It can't because of this.
I don't know. They followed during this, you know.
Seen as you were, so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime. Could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes. It would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Oh, it's like her entire aesthetic is a swan. Clever.
Order! Order in court.
It's like she's like a Pokemon gym leader. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. You did it. You're going to jail, buddy. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Oh god, I don't remember any of the details.
We have the court record, John. We're good.
Oh, thank god. I wonder if the game will remind us 5 times so we have the court record.
And we can scroll back through the entire game's dialogue.
Oh god.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
How do we know that?
Well, that doesn't make sense, because if he was shot with his own gun, that doesn't matter if he shot the gun or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I missed whatever the judge said. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, right, Usuke? You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Jake says, the first chapter of this game is pretty uncomfortably racist at times. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau.
Yeah, and they were pressured to lie.
Yeah. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today.
Gross.
Gross, yeah. As you can see, there was nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm, except for it literally everywhere. I would think she could have gone almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Useless, and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. Pretty sure I butchered that sentence.
So, there are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun.
The third Pirates of the Caribbean movie told us where you could.
Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress. No!
It can't be a Japanese game unless it's pervy.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Finally. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. So I think we have to press on the part where, like, we have to press on the part where it says she couldn't have hidden anything. I don't know what evidence we have that would contradict it, though. So it's funny because, like, if this was in one of the main games, like, they'd be able to do, like, a rifling test on the bullet and determine whether or not it came from that gun. But we actually don't have... I don't know if when that technology came out. This probably won't help us. Right. So I don't think any of this evidence... Maybe with a picture...
Can we just...
Yeah, just press... I'm just trying to think ahead. Remember what we had before. And they brought this picture back up, so there's probably something in it. Oh, we have a magnifying glass.
What about the bottle of liquor? Does it, like... Okay, I didn't know if it would enhance or something like that.
Enhance.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, I felt her out. Shortly after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not?
The Honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was absolutely no need for any further probing into the matter.
Probing?
Oh,
There was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with fact.
By the way, I checked. We have 0 drop frames. Perfect performance.
Whoa!
Baby. In other words, he wants evidence. Ugh, I hate that. Can I just shout louder? The lady wishes to... Excuse me. The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. But she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there.
Bingo.
Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. We're learning.
So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with Professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is now totally unfounded lie, and probably where we have to press next. So maybe we can ask like what the fight was about or something. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. Dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Which are still flapping.
I mean, it's more of a brown suit than it is black.
Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either.
How? What?
The first thing to do is press on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Like you already did. Do that and an opening will present itself. I promise you.
So in other words, we press her on everything that she said.
Yeah. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. Let's go to the fight. Yeah. No, come on. No, I'm trying to go back. Oh my god, I have to do this all over again. 3. I think I have to like use the arrow keys to go back in testimony. I keep trying to click on the left side of it. There. Okay.
Yes.
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It's meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry. Miss Brent does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not! Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future! We must all... Supiku Ingirishishu?
Supik Ingirishu.
Sure.
I wonder if the prosecution will
God, it was like English, speak English.
Like,
Okay.
I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. ... Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot it right before my eyes. Right between my eyes. That'd be weird.
Yes.
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point in repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting me to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady in front.
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
Tish, what nonsense.
The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. We already did that one. Okay, we're doing them in a reverse order now.
Yes.
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hada Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? See, it seems so, yes. She heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was he who had the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Okay, that sounds important.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water.
He wasn't supposed to eat or drink.
He's allowed to drink water. I don't know if the carbonation would be a problem or not. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. There we go. There's only one glass in the picture, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is we're going to add it to the testimony and then be like, there's only one glass, which is weird because this had nothing to do with any of the problems we actually suspected. Maybe it'll prove that she stole the glass or something. That last statement of yours, Miss Brent, has a profound bearing on this case. By the way, like, I like when he slaps his hands, it doesn't make much noise. I bet, like, at the end, or, like, at some point in the game, he'll do, like, a proper slam, and it'll be some kind of a dramatic moment.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Huh. Well, sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said.
She didn't say anything.
Yeah. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that. Ryunosuke. Alright, YOLO. I'm gonna present it.
Yes!
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct. The lady says. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ugh. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Come on, we've already noticed like 5 times. Just fucking say it, bro. Every time. Obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on this case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. There should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What?
But where could she have put it?
Yeah. It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. Sorry.
There! As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eye. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
Ah, that's it. She concealed something. Oh, that's absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No. This can't be put down to mischief.
It's murder.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? You should literally, anytime the game gives you a choice, it's always important. You never give up. You basically never let anything slide. Well, I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're gonna need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yeah. You're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes. Do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You alright? Well done, partner. I had a feeling you picked up that too. I didn't tell you because I wanted the game to have some challenge.
What are you insinuating, you vile black guy?
Why are you so racist? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Fred's handbag.
No!
Sometimes when you get really loud, the mic clips out, so all I heard was "Nuh!"
Sorry.
It's okay. Just, "Nuh!" Order.
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, prosecutor? I would you.
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your blundering incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant word, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? I am. I'm dying.
Like, why is that not addressed?
I know. It's got to be like she poisoned him or something, right? Like,
or he's like dying and she's paying for his like healthcare.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, but like it has to be important at some point. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. Ah. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. By the way, what kind of gaslighting shit is that? Like, you're being put up in a sham trial. It's like, what? You don't trust the police? Like,
I'm pretty sure that's like a straw man argument or something like that.
As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I had to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. How convenient. This photographic print. Oh, it's like transparent. Oh no. Okay,
wait,
so
there's like a...
Yeah, there's like a print. I think it's like from the plate or something. I bet it's from the plate. Like, you know, like you leave your hand on something, you get the print. So, yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. We'll deal with that in a minute. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Actually, let's see. Is that on the plate? Yeah, see? So his hand was on this for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is weird. I don't know what the significance is. Like, I'm trying to wonder, like, was he not shot? Like, was he stabbed or something? Or, like...
Oh! Because then that would explain why there was only one gun.
Right.
But I guess it doesn't explain the gunshot noise.
I'm trying to think with, like, the crazy logic could be, like, the... Well, okay, there's a cork in here. So maybe not.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe the bottle.
Off. Yeah. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. And as you can see, I clearly missed the stolen property in the bag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san. Ah! Ora. Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. It's in the court record now. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn this thing around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Oh shit. My bro. Kazuma.
I've been shot.
It's like, fuck, I really bet on the wrong horse. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
Tis ha-ha! I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from inside your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? What about all the crimes I did commit?
All the time.
Yeah. And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. We already found it.
Can we...
Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
Can we not examine the photograph?
There's going to be a point where, like, it'll ask us what the problem is, or we have a chance to present something.
Okay. It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smuggler. Yeah, you can tell he's just thinking. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yes. Oh, he did it. He did a good slam. Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke! I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This turn is getting tedious! When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Yes. What is this glove?
Wait. Did he, like, break his hand?
Yeah, I don't know. Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance. There's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This straw clutching! Look at the photographic print! All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! Exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. It's more like a cough. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I put my finger on it. If only it wasn't the giant bull-headed symbol on the guy's hand. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. John.
What? Sorry,
okay.
I think it clipped out the first time.
Oh shit, look how big the gavel is. But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark at the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description. Ah.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you could come up with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so we didn't note it in his report. He's a fucking slacker.
What tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aiuchi puts it, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. So, I'm wondering if it's like he was like already dead or something, and like his hand was just lying on the thing. Like something like that. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Ooh. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am. If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? What if it's like he was on painkillers or something, right? So he couldn't feel it? He couldn't feel that his hand was getting burned?
Yes.
Somehow, like, it's gonna link into it somehow. So, like, maybe like he was shot before, and he didn't know, and he died? Like, something like that? Like, he was injured before the sound. Or something like that. Anyway.
I know. I still think the woman.
Yeah. I mean, she did it before. I don't know, whatever. I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brent's face. Really? I had to find some link between that burn and the case.
Thanks, game.
God, we got it. It's said like 8 times. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Should be this one, right? Yeah, it's right there. It also means that like he was at her seat, which is kind of weird. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographer prints are an amazing invention.
Like, do you think from that big slam he like sprained his wrist?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is. Because like I haven't noticed it before, but he hasn't made this pose before. He's like becoming more confident.
He's made similar poses.
Yeah, I don't know. But in the photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Have you seen those like suit jackets or like sweaters or whatever with like the big patches on the elbows?
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of that. I hate those, by the way. They look so hideous.
Do hurry up, rookie! What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we made you to stay with us just a bit longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. Dot, dot, dot. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You your boy! If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
That's you.
Oh, what is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Yes.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah. The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But this really doesn't like explain anything.
Yeah, it's like it's like enough ground for them to like continue the trial because it's related.
Yeah. But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day before that. It's most likely happened at some unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Sadly, prosecutor, I would say the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. So maybe it's like he died, his hand fell down, and then like she moved the body around or something to change.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. So it's something along those lines.
But you're a detective, not a waiter. Wait, that's already been like established.
Yeah, but he's like, I don't know.
Oh.
He hasn't worked at the restaurant that long. I don't know. There you have it. Something just isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. Unless they were doing it for some kind of challenge on TikTok. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. What's that face he's making?
That's like the face that Scat makes after he smells Hugo's butt.
Oh my god. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. This is good. I like this. Let me get another one with Warrior's face in it. Yes.
Oh, see, I think for your Twitch chat, that needs to be an emoticon.
Exactly. Let me just say that in paint right now. I'm gonna make that like my a profile picture or something. This is good. Okay. Would you agree, prosecutor? Ouchie.
Yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
Ah!
I almost don't believe it. Rinosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrived at a conclusion like this. But maybe he was dead the whole time? Nobody noticed. I don't know.
How could you conversations?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just said hello and then walked away. I don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe. We've been led into a terrible trap. What?
It's a trap!
There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. I think this is what we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead.
Hey?
Dead? Knowing what we would know now, it's the only possible explanation. That was a good slam. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor, was already dead.
That! Yes.
All I heard was...
Oh, madness!
Order! Please, counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasps on the...
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Aoji. It's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon!
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment. Thanks, Your Excellency. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Wah. Wah.
Miss Brett! You speak Japanese? That didn't look creepy.
Actually, John, can you do her? Because I'm doing like everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all.
There we go. That's good. That's good. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
I'm lazy. My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
That's just not true. As a lifelong speaker of English, that ain't true.
Yeah. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
This is perfect. They've been simping for the entire time. She's like, hey, you all, the inferior race.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. God, that's like super brutal.
So one thing I didn't mention is like, there's this whole thing about how the Phoenix Wright games were translated. Like, in the original Japanese version, it's set in Japan. But when they translated it to English, they thought that like kids in like 2004 wouldn't be interested in Japanese stuff, I guess. So they rewrote the story so that it's in America. But it makes no sense because like it's clearly made to be in Japan, right? And then like when they translated the further games, they just like stuck with that rather than just retcon it back to what makes sense. So you have like absurd stuff like that. And so like I like that like in this one they just can't get around it. Like it just has to be in Japan.
There is like an interesting like fan theory that like the Phoenix Wright games take place in a like almost like a Man in the High Castle universe. where
that's not a fan.
either we stalemated with Japan or like Japan won.
No, it's the official. It's like from the word of the translators or something. That
really?
Yeah, in the English translated version, it's in a timeline where there was no World War II.
Oh.
Or at least like Japan and America didn't fight. Something like that. And so like the West Coast, which is where the games are supposed to happen in the English version, are like more influenced by Japan in a positive way. But like I don't think that's true at all in the Japanese dub or like in the original version. But then like in some of the games they start like inventing fantasy countries. Like for most of for the first 3 games, characters are from like Japan or Germany or the US, but then like it's in later games they start making up countries, so I don't know what the timeline is on that. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out because now we're actually like the fact that it's in Japan is like actually important to the story, and the whole like being racist thing like made me think of it.
Well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. Brutal and cold. We are truly honored by this. This lavish consideration of you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear our own words on the matter.
That's what he just said.
Yeah. Things are getting interesting, Rinosuke. The victim's death.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If the reason some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. So is that like when like OJ was like, when he released his book, If I Did It?
Yeah.
Like...
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Oh,
he does it.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I hope that it's the last time I have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
I, a random student, will talk to the highest echelons of your government. Because I am British.
I mean, that is like the definition of white privilege.
Yeah.
The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? What? Oh, fuck. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Do I need to reread all of her lines?
No. We'll just go.
Okay.
Okay, we covered the whole glasses thing. Oh, so it could be that the fact that the cork is still in the bottle?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I feel like it is because like you can in this picture that you can't see the cork, so like you don't have to argue over which one to present. But this one is in there, right? So I feel like this might be the problem. And like there's nothing. Is there something in the glass?
I think there is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just press on it first, but
Can we look at the medical report again?
oh shit. I don't think we can examine it anymore. Oh, we can. Okay. I could look at. There were more things that we didn't actually look at last time. I'll check it out. Oh, can't find anything out of place. Can't find anything out of place. See this already? Yeah. It says how to clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I blamed it on the 5G. I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Brr. I'll never forget it. Never my whole life. Most people will give their right arm to only have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's get looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Looks like this medical report card was fumbled. I don't think it is. It's important. They don't like doctors. Okay. Okay, I think this is all just like red herrings. Blah, 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 blah. I got an achievement. Woo. Shit, I didn't. Some kind of medical treatment. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction. Yeah, we've seen this already. I've already seen this. Okay. Let's see. Pectoral ballistic trauma.
So, shot in the chest.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, if that leaves room for doubt, I guess.
Can we press her on the very first statement? I forget what it is, but...
Okay.
Yes!
Because, like, wouldn't she... If he burnt his wrist in front of her...
Yeah. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What? Oh, no!
Huh? What fun! You hadn't realized?
The dear lady is absolutely right!
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me?
Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. God, he's such a simp.
Well, I can't.
Anyway,
Let's try. This is like the cork in the bottle, maybe.
Yeah.
That's why before you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
damn you.
I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others, the court means bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyway. So on that second one, or do we want to press all of them first and then present evidence?
Okay, sure.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm not like 100% on that one. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, I can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to the innocent man's life.
It doesn't make any sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, he must have already been dead at that point.
Objection!
The fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor, I would choose right. Ah! Okay, so like these two I don't think are irrelevant, right? Like they're just sort of talking shit. So it's gonna be one of these two, I think.
Because they did mention that, like, did he even drink anything? And so presumably the glass looked like it was full for, like, being wine.
Let's see. You telling this one? This one, it kind of looks empty.
Yeah.
But that one looks like it has stuff in it, right?
Yeah. But, like, that would be full for, like, a glass of wine.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it could also just be, like, the thickness of the glass or something, right? Because, like, you can kind of see it, the same effect here in this one, which presumably is empty because it's on the side. I don't know. gonna go with this one.
Yes!
Oh, okay. The music didn't stop, so it was wrong. Well, what about the last debate made by the witness? It seems perfectly reasonable to me. Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself.
Oh,
Lasered.
is that like number of mistakes?
Yeah, but like you just come back to the same testimony, really. So it's just to make you like not just guess randomly, but you can just save and go back. Like it's not a big deal. Anyway, so that was not it. I'll keep pressing because I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be not helpful, but we'll find out. Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hasanoga?
As I have said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a trace. Like a poison, like the detective poison.
If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspiration.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. Okay, maybe this one's the right way. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. I think it could be the waiter being... Oh shit, I didn't mean that. Oh, we gotta go through this whole speech now. Well, what do you think, Ryusuke? I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard work. She can speak Japanese brilliantly, but she doesn't seem to want to say very much. The more she says, the more she's likely to give away. This English woman knows it only too well. She is quite formidable. Dr. Wilson's burn tells us something, I'm sure. And use this cross-examination to find out what. First things first, I'm going to press her on everything she said and try to make her blurt something out. What is it, Kazuma? What are you thinking? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing.
Oh, well.
Okay, so some alternative cause of death. What could I present? Maybe there's something to talk about, like what the consequences are if he eats or something? No. same thing. Okay. I think it's a knife. Any guesses, John?
No, and that's the thing is, like, I don't know what we would have to. I mean, let's press her on the last statement.
Okay.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at its crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right! La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Where's that speech bubble?
Can you click on his speech bubble?
I don't think
It
so.
doesn't even occur to you that you're naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about it as I can. You understand?
Ha ha! A killer blow! The lady is formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Iwuchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Okay, so it's kind of like hinting us at multiple places, so I don't know. This is different, I think. I think it's going terribly. No matter how... yes, okay. So the trick was to press everything. I hate when the game does this. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What? Ryunosuke. There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? No, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be the inspector. All right, here we go. Actually, no. Now we'll get some kind of evidence about him, about the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosanagi. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. It might present an opening, maybe. All right, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. God damn it. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what he's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Yes!
Inferior, blah blah blah.
And the lands of Great Britain.
No, I'm gonna wait till it's something different. It's just, yeah. Okay, what do I have to do to, like... There we go. Yes, there it is again. Detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. This must be like the a gimmick mechanic for this game. Like each game has a slightly different like twist. Like there's one game where like you can look really closely at people to see what their tics are and stuff. So I think this is the this one because like there's never been a game where you've had more than one person on the witness stand before, like at the same time.
Oh.
So and they did it twice in this case already. So maybe this is the thing. No, this is like, why the hell would you ever do this? Like, I have
Oh yeah, no, you would.
Yeah. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry, pursue. I'll explain how to do it now, Reinosuke. You literally just look at him and ask him a question. Thought I'd do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. Oh my god. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you move your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue.
It's like the idea of pursuing them with space, like the ether.
If you ever notice a strange atmosphere among the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright, that's where I should move the marker across with A and D and focus on the detective. And pursue him with space and see what's on his mind. Here we go.
Wait.
Wait. Get away. There we go.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Yeah, what's the meaning of this? Ahem. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thought, deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful English woman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with the testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not.
Huh?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. It's Airbud rules, baby. Yeah, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? ... Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hasunaga, always strive to make every investigation involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Ahem. Cough, cough, cough. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touch a nerve there. Take this for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. Cough, 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 cough. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. It's been added to the court record. Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Let's check it out. Oh, shit. The label's written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that. You don't know. This water, it is French. Johnny, still there?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
still here.
You fool! You have placed the bottle upside down and it has all spilled out. You have ruined the evidence.
Wait, can you do like the bottom line? Or like the opening?
Can't find anything out of place. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't want to be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Does the detective drink it?
Mm.
Okay, that must be it. I guess poison is the angle we're taking now. Anything on the bottom? No. Okay. Does that add anything to it?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Cough. So my guess is we present the bottle here. It's a bench to poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes!
The music stopped. We got it right, baby. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind.
Huh?
Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison!
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order! 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 And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett, it was you. Jacques.
Objection!
It is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile! You ever consider the delicate situation our country finds in itself now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship between the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
Ah yes, let's have an entire aside about treaties.
This is not a political arena. I don't want politics in my video games. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth.
If I may.
I will silence you forever for this.
It is you who should be silent.
Oh, of course. Dear lady.
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. You did! Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ran tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
In this country.
Yeah, they were all positive. It's lethal. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water. Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No!
I'm grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, the shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma. I'm sorry, Inosuke. I have nothing more. Just challenge her to take a drink from it.
Yeah,
That's my only hope.
that's like a Perry Mason moment.
Yeah.
Well, if you excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Oh, this is the girl who was sent to the school to get some kind of evidence. It'll be like a test for poison or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? There will be no women in this courtroom?
Intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikatoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Nikitoba. My darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Wasn't it like fushiki, that like toy that was on TV like 10 years ago? I don't know. There's probably gonna be a recess. I assume. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going to finish this case.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty close. Yeah. I'm gonna get some water though. After we.
Okay.
Yeah. Be right back.
Yeah. Same.
All right. I'm back. November, 1:14 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2.
I'm back.
Cool. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant and a woman, no the less. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify.
Really, females?
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some final evidence that I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes? I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency, the rules!
Screw the rules, I have money.
Faithful.
Who exactly are you?
I'm sorry. Tom, please, simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something written in English?
It's Giselle Brett's research.
The Englishwoman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, just... So does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I'm illiterate. I'm a woman. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
It's a spell in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, curare.
Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
That was not 5 minutes. That was like 3 lines of dialogue.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail. But I've surmised what I could from the note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
She's a ghost.
No ghosts in the courtroom. You will be exorcised at once. You've had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does the other side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but hold on, let me take the time to read this book. A synopsis. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Special characteristics, effects, instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Right of entry, the above mentioned effects occur when a poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have an application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of full body paralysis must be found, or patients would die of suffocation.
That would explain why he didn't move his hand.
Yeah. It doesn't have anything about how to detect it, though.
But it's not from Japan. And they could only test things from Japan.
Okay. There you go, that's a good point.
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're at our options here. This really is our very last chance. I know I've said that like 6 times already, but I mean it this time. Yeah, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. I can smell the bullshit coming. Well, Miss Brent.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence just a little bit longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid. It's not very long until tea time. I have...
Forgive me, Miss Brett, it seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it many times before, but... You're barbarians. The Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel. What is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? My university collar pen. Fucking nailed it.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University, doing research. Research, by a sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison?
Did it cut out?
Yeah, he was like, what? Where are you going with this, Consul? A toxin known as curare. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense! Curare, you say?
You sound like the bird from Aladdin. You sound like Iago.
Go for God. God for your word.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
Or maybe
Oh, wait.
Toad. Yeah, that's more Toad. You wouldn't have done.
What? What do you mean? God, his voice is completely gone.
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist. Correct, which means no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Order! 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 Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this research authorized by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! These operations were utter trumpery!
Topical.
To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain. The other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. Oh, that was wrong. I don't remember anything like that either. I did notice the professor being in any kind of pain because the fucking book says he's paralyzed. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean? The other way around?
This guy's voice. The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters the person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects would go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That hit.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison? Terrifying?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense.
Ahem, if I may.
All these facts! You think you're so clever, but you
It is you who must be told.
Of course. Dear lady.
Sir, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. Highness, yes. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
And after this, I for one refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in this great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
Ha ha ha.
What's so funny?
Excuse me. Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Oh, is she gonna drink it? Because it's like the poison's kind of way or whatever. Well, Yes, I don't see why not. Okay, she's gonna drink it.
Don't get a bit too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry.
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really.
Ugh.
But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers!
What a power move. Wait! What are you doing?
Oh, she's been doing the research and stuff, though, but she would know an antidote.
Maybe.
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Could have been on the knife, maybe, and she stabbed him. Because it said it was through wounds. I don't know.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare. The bottle was clean, is that what you're saying?
Ha ha ha. You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've gotten more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We're most gratified with all the assistance you have given. Oh my god. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she?
How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale?
I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she wouldn't have keeled over dead. Come on, Rainer Suge, we have all the clues now. That bottle of water. So, it's either she gave him the poison through some other means, or there is a poison and she has the she has the antidote, like the Princess Bride or something. See, so it says that those effects happen when it came through a wound. It doesn't say anything about being ingested, right? So I think maybe it being in the water was the wrong thing the whole time. And we know that he is wounded. They didn't find the bullet, but there is a wound. So I think the wound was given in some other way.
Wait, they didn't find a bullet, but there was no exit wound.
Yeah, it said there was no exit wound. He was wounded in his chest, right? But in the in the report, it says that the bullet didn't leave his body. But I don't think I think they said earlier that they just examined the outside of his body.
Mm.
And Jake is maybe trying to give clues in the chat. Let's see, page 2. Yeah, that's what we mentioned. So could the poison have been so he's wounded in his chest and he's wounded on his wrist with the burn. I don't know if you could like burn the poison into somebody like that.
I doubt so.
But either way, I think the track that we should take is say that it's not in the bottle.
Yeah.
It's somewhere else. Okay, I think Jake gave away with a clue. He says before that even, because it was at the surgery. Well, like he was technically wounded at the surgery, so maybe it was given then, but then it was like several hours before. So I don't know. But it's definitely going to be some way. It was applied some different way. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why, Ryusuke? Isn't it obvious that there was poison in there? She'd be dead by now. Sometimes your unadulterated naivete really astounds me. But sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent? Shit. Alright, well. That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel, for which you will be penalized. Alright, well. Okay, so it's in the bottle and she has an antidote, I guess. Well, alright, picked one of these two choices, so. The culprit did put a curare poison in Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
There is no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw.
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How? How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. So, I don't know, because if it was in there and her drinking it, according to that book, shouldn't kill her because it talks about when it goes through a wound. But if that's true, then why would it be in the drink anyway, right? Like, if she was going to poison him and it has to be through a wound, you wouldn't put it in the drink.
Go to page 3 in the court record on that document.
Hold on.
Because there was a line that was basically saying like it could be used as a really good anesthetic.
Yeah. So there was like talk about it, but they had to get over the paralysis. So maybe Jake's hit. So maybe like okay, so you can drink it fine, but he did technically have a wound in his mouth from the removal of the tooth, right? So would that count? That's my thought, but we'll see where there's a couple of different ways that it could go. Let's see what the game says. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume this supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Chick says, have you had a wisdom tooth pulled? That shit is a wound for a few weeks. Oh yeah, I had 4 of them removed at the same time. That sucked.
Oh yeah.
I remember it was the day before StarCraft 2 came out. Or like, no, it was like the day that it came out was the day of the surgery. And I played the campaign like the day, like the next day, and I was like still coming off the medicine. That was a fun experience. So it must be this because it says it only hurts you when it goes through a wound.
Yeah.
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
explanation?
Exactly what page?
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. There's impudent young scoundrels trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest. I'm just reading Susano-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. It just wants us to know what page. This happens a lot, so we can't just guess, right? It wants to say. Oh, we can't just call the page numbers. We gotta. Yeah. Special characteristics for route of entry. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. Jake says, 3 pages is too much, help. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please!
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I assume they just cooked it out. Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever.
What?
Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little.
What? That scorpion!
Well, Ryunosuke, turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
What the hell was he studying?
Oh, this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it possibly...
So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish? Flaw. The law.
As even as your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that this effect are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus.
Succus. Well, yes, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
So this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk. The professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Ah! Yeah, it's definitely the wisdom tooth thing.
That's right!
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand. No?
Order! Order in the court! Order! the logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest?
Yeah! This curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you
Could understand something as simple as that.
Look at the waiter. It's like,
Did she just turn into like a Sly Cooper villain?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah. What is this welling up inside me? I really have to take a shit. I've never felt like this before.
I almost spit my water.
It's a sort of conviction to break down all discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection.
There we go.
Ah, there we go.
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett.
Use that tone with me.
You knew very well there's no fatal flaw here. You knew exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Ah. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, you must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested, why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by this curare? Oh, shit. I'm trying to present this.
Take that!
As Ms. Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference? The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Ah! Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already, and you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also puerile.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
So you're gonna break the class so don't get tested, I guess?
I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
Oh, I almost did that. I'm afraid the Death Star plans.
No! It's an Englishwoman in the Supreme Court. She smashed the evidence. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much as the water from that broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here is a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can't thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? if there's really was poison in the bottle or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Isn't like destroying the evidence like means that
A crime.
they like assume that you are guilty? Like it's like
Yeah.
you take like the worst possible interpretation of it.
Also, no, Grant, I don't know about Japan, but in the U.S., you just have to establish reasonable doubt. So, like, this
No.
is reasonable doubt.
Right. Yeah. So like reasonably, if they can't prove her guilty, it's still enough doubt that the main character didn't do it. But like, if she was the defendant and she destroyed the evidence, like, they would take it to mean that that evidence was bad for her, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in this, like, very open way.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady.
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it?
So the autopsy report says that there actually is a wound here, but like, what if it's like the blood dripping out of his mouth, right onto the right into the jacket?
The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day using karare, and then in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man.
Ugh.
A hidden gun, you say, and I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly! And, as you have nothing to prove to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Ah. This is unbelievable. How could this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke! Yes. We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. But yeah, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of this same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Nah, there's nothing. This is a red herring. We're dead. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Haha, you always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. Niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. You know, they're talking about how observant he is, he didn't notice that the woman was a foreigner, and also that the guy was dead.
He's so observant.
Yeah. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is the fact that he had ketchup with his steak. I mean, okay, like, this is the only thing on the screen, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes. What is it? Still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said it a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute! Where are you going?
Where are you going with this little boy?
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No. That can't be the case.
Hmm?
Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett.
Pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous! Fabricated nonsense! Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, beat it all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
What?
I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Jake is right. This is like total Deus Ex Machina. Just like, oh yeah, there was blood here. Bailiff, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir.
Yum yum.
Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't!
Quickly, Inspector, the blood man! Show the court! Of course, examine the plate at your leisure. Is this... So there's no blood on it, but is this the wrong plate? Because he said he took both of them. Right? It's gonna be the wrong plate, surely. It's a different shape, isn't it? I guess there's also no blood in here. What the fuck? Yeah, it's a different shape, right?
I don't think so.
You're right.
Go back
Oh, never mind.
Well, so I think that this bite should be angled differently.
Yeah.
No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate.
What an unbecoming expression, little boy.
You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
Oh my god. Ah, racism.
Tisk, I couldn't agree more. Disgrace this. This disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we have finally reached a conclusion of this trial.
He's so stupid. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
Ha! Sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
Oh my god. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is why witness testimony is not highly regarded in court.
Yep.
Okay, so we know it's from the soldier's plate because he was trying to steal the coin. Huh? What the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hawai era, I believe. No, I mean, what is it? I mean, what is it doing here? Wait, did you say it was a Hawai Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today there's been talk of a Hawai Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion. I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Okay, so we know it's the wrong plate. This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. We've said this like 8 times now. Never stop believing in yourself. Don't stop believing. Keep looking forward no matter what. Believe in myself, really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this split of steak reveal any other clues at all? Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding yet another clue. Another clue that revealed a shocking truth.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteaks.
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, this is still your position, is it?
Thank you.
I mean, is she like a diplomat?
No, I don't think so. This is like the energy of like Americans who go overseas, commit a crime, and they're like, you can't arrest me, I'm American.
Oh, yeah, well.
Counsel for the defense will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is the new clue to be found?
Got it!
What? No, counsel, I'm afraid that won't do. What? That was ambiguous at best. What? When you're asked to identify a detail like this, you must do so knowing there's a penalty for mistakes. It's just right here in front of me, I'm sure of it.
Wait!
It was the one thing to do, but that was it. Oh, turn this steak over and over, but... God damn it. What? It was right there! Can I, like, make it fall out or something? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna... I can't even save here, shit. Okay, what do I fucking click to show this?
I mean, maybe you have to click more like in the center of the steak.
Jake says when the crosshairs change, but that's the whole steak. I'll try this.
Got it!
Why is that name so? That voice is so British. What? Okay, so I'm gonna save here, so I don't have to redo the whole fucking thing if I get knocked out here. Okay, I'm gonna look at it in the evidence again. Oh shit. Yeah, so when I click on it here, I can look under it.
Maybe we weren't supposed to do it when we did it.
Maybe.
Which, if that's the case, that's really stupid.
Yeah. So, it's like the alt. Okay, the symbols there. But there's only two things I can fucking click on, like steak itself and the icon, or the logo, whatever it is we're gonna call it. Oh, I have to click space. Okay, so Jake was right. So if we click space, it inspects it, even though space isn't even listed as a fucking thing on the. That's silly. Okay, okay. Oh shit. Oh my god. I hit the wrong button. Okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. Oh my god.
Got it!
There. Good gracious, that's...
What on earth?
Hawaii Arrow one at that. Hawaii, I don't know. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat. That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd.
What?
We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen?
Like, why is it that, like, everybody forgets what happened?
I know. A rare Hawaii combine just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. This turns out to be irrelevant to the case. I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel. Our Rehoeko band just happens to be hidden underneath this piece of steak. This turns out to be irrelevant to the case. I'll give my lawyer a job right now.
Stop you! No one invited you anyway!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that stake. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person that it can belong to. The owner of the koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is the guy who collects kobans, obviously.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer and owner of Rasute, Kyoryo Korakuda-san.
Curie, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying he was up to something with his koban coin when it happened. Oh my god, I already solved this puzzle. If we could just get to the point, please. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not, as I was far too busy on the floor.
Okay. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure!
Shit. Sorry, I'm trying to... There's a bot in my chat I'm trying to get rid of.
Well,
Oh my god, how do you spell this?
Or is it like spamming like Trump 2024 or something over and
No,
over again?
It wants me to buy followers.
Oh,
But I don't need
gross.
to, because I'm already at 104.
What?
Alright.
indeed, the Hawaii Kaban, my prized coin!
Then this Hoa Erikoban, do you mean to tell me?
Objection!
No, please! Why would Korateka-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense!
Yes, because use fucking common sense.
Yeah. Which is why I'm asking to bring him back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Oh my god, this is why this... Okay, now I can believe this game is going to take forever, because, like, it just keeps going and going. Without a moment's delay.
Like, is everyone just incapable of deductive reasoning?
Clearly. I can't believe we've come back to that pair again. I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find its key element in this case. Like, the first case is never like this in the other games.
He even explained, like, he even, like, laments on, like, I
Yeah.
can't believe we're back to these two.
Yeah. What's all this about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize it's dinner time for my little baby Ido? My son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to hear false witness.
And now I will catch you.
And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, Korakuda-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memories, something.
Ah, that's it, the one, the very exact one that is.
Look at the baby. I'm taking a screenshot of that too. That's pretty good.
It also looks like it's like his sword is lodged into the foot.
Yeah, this shoe. All right, we're just gonna keep copying that one around.
Oh my god.
Nice. Okay.
Wait, isn't it like children must participate in rigorous military exercise?
Yeah, that works. That's a good one.
The resplendent, splendiferous how I treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be!
As I thought.
Young man! Enlighten the decrepit old fool, put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwich between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices. Juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my OA treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would have done such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing?
Excuse me. Can I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosanaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
The Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. It's gonna be, I guess it's the army guy. Yeah, look, he's sweating. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it?
That's what he just said.
Yes. Yes, I was sent undercover. That's why you're sent undercover? Yes, I was undercover. Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. While being undercover, of course. It seems likely that this Colbine incident is the work of the same thief. So, unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korakuta Sans Koban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. On this completely unrelated crime. Please solve it for us. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korakuta Sans Koban and hid it under the steak?
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Ayasanosa. What? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? am the master thief of the Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it was Aido. Aido is the mastermind behind all this.
That's also a screen capture.
Oh, yes. Oh, shit. Oh! Okay, I got like a shitty one of it. Oh my god. This is good. I have some emotes or something. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. You would push the blame for your crimes into your own son and it's the little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Holy shit, this case has gotten wild, dude.
Is this like indicative of like Phoenix Wright games?
This one is pretty wild. Like, wah! Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Gah!
Did the baby just kill him?
Yeah, I think so. What the fuck? Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Ayase preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Yeah, like they're usually pretty goofy. Like they've gotten sillier as they go on.
Okay.
And then like,
but I mean, like in the middle of a trial, you solve another crime, kind of thing.
kind of like it's usually like it's like about halfway through the trial, you know who it is, and then for the second half, you're figuring out how you can prove that they did it, and then there's like weird details like this that you just keep like discovering and then solving, and then there's a new problem and so on. So like that formula is pretty standard, but this one is like, especially for the first case in a game, like this one is pretty wild. Like it just keeps going. Man. Like, I feel like
maybe
the
first 20 hours of the game is just this first trial.
Yeah. Like the first case in most games is like, I would say like an hour or like an hour and a half. Like not we're almost at 6 hours.
Oh my god.
Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand
it's treason then.
Yeah. I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. I think that conflict is like the Russo-Japanese War and or conquering Korea. Yeah. And I've heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes? We'll just have to conquer more countries to pay for them, yes? All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you're stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man in his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped a coin in my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang. Yeah, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I'd know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. This is ridiculous.
Perhaps you can carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett.
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course! How rude of us! I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. The theft of the Kaban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. Now we have to say, no, it's obviously it's his steak. Then we'll look at the real steak. Then there'll be blood on it. Then there'll be some other bullshit that comes up. Oh my god! This game does not stop. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Oh, of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it? Well, oof.
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well, now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
That fucking face, though. Ryonosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just, something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred me. Like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. What? We already know it's not hers! Oh, your steak. Yeah, she said your steak. Something, I don't know. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry. You can think later, but if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
Jake says that look says, I was looking directly into the player's eyes, searching for an answer. I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradicted in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryonosuke?
Hiding a coin under a lap of meat. The sheer nonsense of an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Yes, I'm right. What you said there exposed an undeniable contradiction that we figured out 30 minutes ago. I'm going to need to see some evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? Oh, God. If I get the wrong thing, I have to go back really far. I'm going to be unhappy. There, I can save here. Okay. So, I know what the contradiction was, but I don't know what evidence. I don't know which evidence to present, right?
Yeah.
I'll try this.
Take that!
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes. Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs!
Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural? So maybe it was like she swapped out the plates? So not the detective. I thought it was just the detective messed up. I don't know.
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
Oh shit.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
does it go to space? Like, what is natural and unnatural?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. What? Oh my god. Holy shit. It's not hers. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Oh, because it has a big bite mark in it.
Yeah. Notice what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed, no Englishman can even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Holy shit, taking the most roundabout way of getting to this point. I'm like actually mad right now.
Of course she did! She's a refined English gentlewoman herself!
let's take a good look at the steak. In particular, the edge where it's been eaten. This is what I wanted to point out at first, right? Did it look different?
Yeah.
Oh my god. As you can see, there's clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Oh!
Ah!
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork. There shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
That is your actual point! Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course, of course! This will all be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just look.
I've heard enough. You're irritating little spectacle samurai relic.
Oh, of course. Dear lady!
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks have in the steak for her. Or the steak. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Holy fuck!
No.
No, we're trying to prove that it's not her steak. And we're gonna bring out the other plate and be exactly where we were with the blood. Oh my god. Yes, now let's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks on a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the blood stain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that would prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up!
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented to the court long ago.
We tried.
Oh my god, have we tried? Actually, everyone's talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been? What?
Just because it hasn't been shown yet doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd! The trial's run several hours already!
You're
And
telling
you say
me!
There's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be! I don't believe you have!
Objection!
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well, I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. How many times have I fucking said this already?
Oh my god.
Who possesses the conclusive evidence that revealed? So it should be the waiter because he has all the evidence, right?
The other state.
Yeah.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. Just fucking give it. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Also, what is it with his poison? Like, 'cause it's not the same poison, because he'd be dead.
God.
Everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Noza told the court the following. I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. Holy fuck, we got it! And as well as admitting to stealing Korikudo-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? What's the stake that you put the coin under? In fact, you're on stake. Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign giant lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
Oh, I thought it was going to say manhandling her meat.
I was going to say, oh boy. It's spicy in here. In other words, the stake that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. No, it literally makes all of the sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
And the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have the opportunity to steal a coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Oh yes, stealing things that don't belong to you.
Yeah. How un-British of you. Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two stakes over.
It's literally just the detective fucked it up. That's it. Come on. Oh my god.
You did switch the plates.
Oh, okay. He did switch them? Fuck, whatever, man. Well, after it happened, Bang. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I hate when the police touch my meat. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. I'm turning into Batman.
Oh, there's like a little creaking noise when he does that.
With military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What?
You touched my meat?
You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
However, fear not, Prosecutor Sen.
What now?
I swear in the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
Yes. So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga, give me the fucking evidence. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak at the incident, but also the sergeant's. But to preserve evidence, you had to take both.
Ah.
That's correct. And please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not reeling your way out of this time, lady.
I beg your pardon.
Sure you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no?
But you're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see this plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Tisk thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. You know, I just realized, like, she went through all this shit to poison him covertly and then shot him anyway.
Yeah. Also, when he says memory serves him well, all I can think of is the original Iron Chef. And, like, whenever the chairman would, like, intro the show, like, to talk about, like, the secret ingredient or whatever, he would always be like, if memory serves me right. Okay.
And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let's not prolong this any further. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you. Here is the other steak and its plate. Please, feel free to examine it. Oh, really? Can we not all see this? The blood stain. It's clearly visible, look. Okay, at least they don't make us fucking click on that. That's like everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate. Shows at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim.
Ah! It can't be!
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now that person is. It's the fucking baby. That's right, Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Everyone else is gone from the witness stand.
Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no.
What the fuck? My planet needs me. Her head should be off in this. Like, she should be more disheveled or something. Yeah, it's alright.
Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
I imagine she's going to show up later, and that's why they don't show her face.
Yeah, that's got like, because I thought it was gonna be like once she broke down, you see her face or something, but not. So like, she's got to show up again at some point, right?
Yeah.
Well, Miss Brett, and then also there's a character in the third game who kills people with poison, who could have been like her descendant or something. Because like I think it's like it's been said by someone that Ryunosuke is the distant ancestor of Phoenix Wright, and like this prosecutor is the distant ancestor of of a prosecutor in the other game. So like, I would be surprised. And that the other character, like, is oh well, Jake points out that she was like, we know what her family was. It's probably not this person then. Okay, never mind. But okay, never mind then. There's someone else who always had a parasol. You kill people with a poison. But then I forgot that her ancestry is actually important. I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. You see, good and evil are a matter of perspectives. It was I who took the professor's life using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison will be found in this water, and then you shot him anyway, like some kind of idiot. Because Karare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone. And leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else?
Oh, he wasn't dead yet when he visited. Okay.
Such a trifling matter, but the fact you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was pale. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag. And my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
Ooh woo. So I was right. There were two guns.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure that I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun, as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang.
Bang. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead.
Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed that Houdestan was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chat round.
Because of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun. Was there a motive, though?
That's probably another hour of this game.
Oh god, you're probably right.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
That's a felony, at least.
That in the United States, that would be first-degree murder because it was premeditated.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, I wonder, might I speak with you in my private later?
Oh, in private letters.
Might you speak into my privates later? I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone.
What the fuck?
I hope you can forgive me. Naruhodo-san. Ta-ta for now.
Is she running or is she being arrested? I'm not sure. I assume she's being arrested. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement?
This can't be! Takatsuchi Ouchi does not lose! Not to the likes of this rookie student!
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Ryunosuke Naruto!
What? Yes?
This insult to the Orochi family name will never be forgotten!
You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Excuse me?
He would go to jail.
He just straight up murdered that man. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still, the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruto clan.
There's the...
Yeah. I wonder what is Phoenix Sprite's name in Japanese. Maybe it's Naruto. Let me find out. Yep, it's Ryuichi Naruto. Okay, and in the other games in the English, the prosecutor is Winston Payne, like Ouchie. Yeah. Okay. So it's just a much less subtle reference if they had the same translation. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan, well, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. One full of many shenanigans and much bullshit. And lots of stake. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruto, presented an excellent case. And we will use this standard forever, where the defendant must prove someone else guilty. I thank you, Your Excellency. Jake says that Naruto is Japanese for understand.
Oh, like, right.
Yeah, I guess. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology.
Is it?
Yeah. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
I also like that, like, next to the judge is like a liquor decanter.
Yeah, I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? That's kind of plot hook for the rest of the game. Ah, never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruto.
Get out of my court.
Yeah. In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. By the way, so like in the Phoenix Wright game, it's like he like wasn't gonna be a lawyer, and then some stuff happened, and he decided to be a lawyer to like pay back a friend, basically. But like, wouldn't he like if he was like the ancestor of this guy who was like the lawyer in like one of the first and most influential like court cases in modern Japan, like, and like not that long ago, like it does, like this could be like a Phoenix's
like his great grandfather
or great grandfather, right? Like, so like it's not like some guy 300 years ago that you don't actually know but you're related to.
Yeah.
Right. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke...
Guilty!
Yeah, guilty, fuck you! Not guilty. Where do all these cherry leaves come from? They're straight out of my courtroom. so hard to clean up. The court is now adjourned. November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants heading Chamber 5.
Don't.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it.
Neither can we.
I defended myself and made it to that horrendous trial. Reinosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I could have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place at Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All of your hard work has certainly paid off.
Oh wait, is it? Oh,
yeah, I thought it was the old guy. There you go.
Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruto-san's innocence.
Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh.
Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kindness should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Oh my god, we can see... Fuck, no. Stop!
Forgive me, Court Proceedings, Your Excellency. Susanna Megatoba, Judicial Assistant to the
We
Defense.
just saw this. Speaking of Megatoba...
Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order.
I thought he did it. I was wrong.
Naruto, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it was I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend. Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume. Wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Professor Megatoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. But, like, so the guy on the left is facing directly at us, but the one on the right is, like, at an angle. Just looks really funny. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson?
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you work together? I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asoki. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
hey now, the United States
Whoa.
is the world's largest melting pot.
I take offense to that remark. Damn
I
right,
do
Coates.
declare.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking the sword of Great Britain, are you? Jake, is anyone important named Asogi? I feel like it's like he's got to be related to somebody like Edgeworth. Or
Who's
something.
the, yeah, I was gonna say, like, who's the, like, guy that wears, like, red?
That's Edgeworth. Let me see. Miles Edgeworth. Japanese name. No, it's Mitsurugi. Kazuma has a very long life, is very happy to be alive. Lamau.
Wait, what?
A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go.
He just probably dies as a Zero pilot.
cuss down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
her. It's not easy to tell you this, but
What do you mean? Surely she's gonna face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all.
she will be leaving Japan in the very near future for Shanghai.
What? Shanghai?
Giselle Bratt will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
What? But why not? Oh no. It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Oh shit. My voice. Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away, where our voices can't be heard. Why a consular court? Is she like a son of an ambassador or something? Or daughter of an ambassador,
Yeah.
more likely? Professor, I simply don't understand. I don't get this whole transgender thing. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the friendship treaty. What is this extrajudicial bullshit?
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
That's you. Andrew, are you speaking?
Oh, okay. Somehow the mute button on my mic got hit. I don't know what the hell happened there. Fine. Let's see. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. So, like, I totally get why they would do that, but if the victim is also British, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna want, like, I could totally see how if she killed a Japanese person, the court would, like, the British government would try to sweep it under. They would like not care, right?
Yeah.
But like, if the victim is also British, that
Well,
seems
see,
bad,
I
right?
mean, and I guess I'm just thinking about like modern, like, rules, right? So like, Japan has sovereignty. Visitors to Japan are subject to Japanese law. So like, if you kill someone, even like another like foreigner, like
Yeah,
another
yeah.
person from your own country, you still go to Japan's law. Like you still go to Japan's court and their
Yeah.
jail. So yeah, I don't understand. Like, so I'm guessing this was like an older tradition where like
Well,
your home country could just like steal you away and take you and have you tried there.
I think it's probably going to be that she's important somehow. Like, she's related
Yeah.
to the ambassador or the prime minister or some shit.
I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her.
Yeah, she's going to be like the final boss or something.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case before the student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is the time of great turmoil. this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century.
And it will only go well for Japan at all times.
One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink.
But Professor, you're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest Carnival? No! Can't, never again. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're Detective Osanaga-san, aren't you? Oh yeah, also you're diseased, so no thank you.
Yes.
Cough, cough. Let's not worry about details for now. To the Carnival, will you accompany us? Professor?
Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none.
I can't wait to eat at the same table my friend died at.
I shall go and attend the paperwork for Renaissance release.
Hey, I'm not guilty. Let me out of here. Oh yes, thank you. So Giselle Brandt won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Maybe some spy. Maybe she's a spy. Maybe like maybe there's some spy shit going on. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke. I just want to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. There's only room for one good lawyer. Well, come on, don't be serious. Or, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial.
Really, it was like 2/3 of the way through.
But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Not me, all that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. So I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry, what do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lord needs in order to win? I'm gonna say trust.
Samurai sword.
It's gonna be trust, because this is what Phoenix Wright says every time. Gotta trust the defendant. Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience. But you never stop believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again. But you never stop looking for the truth in that goddamn steak. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts. Because you never stop believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually. Ryunosuke.
Will you marry me?
Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is? Ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. I mean, cars exist by now. Like, we could just take a car.
I don't think they would be in like great numbers, especially in Japan at this point.
That just means
It's what, like 1910 or something?
That just means there's less traffic. Let's pick up this conversation again later. I'm sure we will definitely be able to resolve this. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too.
So what do you think it is that he wants to tell us? Like some sort of like deep sage wisdom?
Oh, it's gonna be some like so. The judge said he has some kind of mission there, right? Like it's gonna be related to that or something. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Migatoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. Actually, Hosonaga did not support you, he kind of just made it really bad. Like,
yeah.
He screwed it up a lot.
But like for both sides.
Yeah. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. End of chapter 1 of the first case. Ooh. Defense debut achievement. Alright, we're gonna save here, and then we're gonna be done for today. I think you said you can't do Sunday?
Yeah, no, I can't do Sunday.
Okay.
But I could probably do Tuesday next week.
Okay. So we'll be back then on Tuesday.
Cool beans.
All right, I'm going to end the stream. Where is? Oh, here it is. Okay. Goodbye.